This video was originally going to be a comparison between the SB dunks and regular dunks. So we bought one of the most popular, if not the most popular collab that's ever been done on the dunk platform, the Chunky Dunkies. But then we got them in hand, and there's some issues that this might have that might not make it a fair comparison. So let's start dissecting this thing and see if we can even make a fair comparison for the Chunky Dunkies to regular dunks. And thanks to StockX for sponsoring this video. StockX, if you don't know, is an innovative live global marketplace where you can find retro Jordans, Nikes, Yeezys, gaming consoles, Legos, collectible artwork, trading cards, and more. And they're 100% new and authentic guaranteed. And we buy the majority of our sneakers for these videos from StockX. I think proof on the tag. Because they just have such a huge collection, and it's a super easy website to use, and you can pretty much find anything on there. And their product catalog is constantly growing with all the new releases, and a lot of people think it's just a sneaker website, but there's tons of stuff on there. Like I said, there's Legos, there's trading cards, there's art, vinyl, skateboards, comics, electronics, gaming consoles, laptops, tablets, headphones, and Legos again. And StockX has tons of items that are below the retail price. They separate them out on their website with the below retail link for each category. And one of the most useful things about StockX is the StockX tools. They've got pricing data, they've got editorial inspo, personalization, and more to inform shoppers, collectors, investors, and us when we do videos, because it has so much information on there that you really wouldn't be able to find anywhere else, like a trend of price of Chunky Dunkies over a year or 5 years or 2 years, however long it's been out. So check out StockX via the link below, and thanks again to StockX for sponsoring this video. So what is this shoe? What is the Chunky Dunky? Well, it's a collab between Ben & Jerry's off the delicious Chunky Monkey ice cream, and it's put on the platform of the Nike Dunk Low Pro SB, hence the name Chunky Dunky. And they were a super limited run, and they're so rare and sought after that people are willing to pay upwards of and over $2,000 per pair. So let's start dissecting this shoe and start answering your guys' questions about these shoes. So first, is this real cowhide? Some people say it's fake, some people say it's real, some people say the hair's fake. I don't like this thing! But it's leather underneath. Let's let the flames decide, because hair has a very distinct smell. We put that up to the flame, give it a sniff, and it smells like a curling iron, burning hair, burning flesh. So it's clearly real hair. But is it real hair glued on top of a fake leather or even a real leather? Well, one way that you can always tell, and you almost can't even do this with the naked eye, we had to do it with the macro lens, is the hair is obviously in pores, and when they tan leather for the hair on hides, they don't remove the hair. So technically the hair should still be in the hair pores. So if you look really close, when we pull these out, you can actually see the hairs pop out of the pores, telling us that it's real cow hide with the real hair on top. So good sign there. But are these classic cow spots real, or is it fake? Well, if you look really closely, once again, you can see the hairs that border the black and the white. Some of them are half black and half white. So clearly, this is not the natural color of the cows, because most cows and most animals, they have a little bit more of a gradient when they shift colors. It's not quite as stark as that. So I'm guessing what they do is they probably just bleach the entire hide white, then put a stencil over top and spray dye on top to give it this really distinct cow look. And the last question about the cow hide, does it shed? Yes, it does. It sheds a fair amount, actually. And then to the really interesting aspect of this video, and the thing that we were the most concerned about, is the leather quality. So the first question was, is the swoosh real leather? Well, this one's easy, because all you gotta do is lift one of these little drips up, and you can see the fabric backer behind it. You look at the cross section, and there's no leathery fibers in there. It's just a plastic coating on top of fabric, a fabric backer. So clearly fake leather. And then to the one that really got us concerned are the leather panels that everyone says on YouTube, all the product descriptions on all the websites say that are real leather. We got this, and it just feels like fake leather. And it's really hard to tell because there's no cross section. So if everyone's wrong, it's not even their fault, because the majority of Nike's leather is already basically half fake anyway, with that super thick coating of plastic on top. And without burning it or cutting it, it's really hard to tell. Fortunately, we're gonna burn it to try to figure out. Fortunately for you guys, except for my lighter just broke. And it is acting a lot like plastic. But let's cut it in half to really see if all these panels are real leather or fake leather, or if it's just a really heavy coating of plastic on top of real leather. All right, we got them cut in half, and it's not looking good for the Chunky Dunkies. So let's see what's inside. All of the websites, all of the reviews, and all the product descriptions are wrong because these 3 panels are all fake leather. And if you spent $2,000 on a pair of Chunky Dunkies, you might be a little disappointed that you spent $2,000 on fake leather. So why would they use fake leather? Well, it's a lot cheaper, it's a lot easier to cut into panels like this, and it's a lot easier to dye with these vibrant colors. That's why they did it. I don't know why they didn't just up the price by 20 bucks from $100 to $120 and make it out of real leather. Because it is a bummer that this iconic of a shoe and this interesting and cool looking of a shoe is made out of fake leather. And it's almost made worse that they actually used real hair-on cowhide on top of fake leather. And even though these retailed for 100 bucks, and it's not that far out of the question for what this is for $100 with the fake leather, problem is people paid $2,000 for this, and if you're willing to spend $2,000 on a sneaker, you should at least know what's fake leather and what's not. And I think that's on Nike, because they had to have known that there was at least a decent possibility that these would be a really popular shoe, hit that resale market for a lot more than what the initial retail price was. So why not just lean in and make it a decent quality shoe if they're just gonna be resold anyway? So it's not a fair comparison to the real Dunks. So we're gonna have to go buy another pair of SB Dunks and do the real comparison in the next video, because these are probably worse quality than regular Dunks. So that's the next video. So consider supporting this video, because this was a little bit of a letdown that we bought such an expensive shoe assuming it was leather, and now we can't even do the review and the comparison. So help us out and subscribe, because we kind of got bamboozled on this one.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
And we could use your guys' support, so thank you guys. See ya.